What up, everybody? This your boy B Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. And if you're a first-time listener, I'd like to thank you oh so much for giving my show a try. And if anybody recommended you to me, I would like for you to lean over and give that person a crisp high five. But if you're not in that person's general vicinity, you can find your favorite social media app of choice and send that person a well-crafted DM telling them thank you for recommending you to me. Speaking of social media, you can find the Random Rambles with Rob on various social media platforms to include Twitter at 3R Show, Instagram at The 3R Show. You can see as well as hear interviews that I've done on YouTube by searching 3R Show. And for anything that I may have forgotten to mention, you can go to randomrob.com, to where you can find many different ways to help support the show and our sponsor, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. Go to hooksrub.com and you can get 15% off your order by using promo code RANDOM. Also, speaking of sponsors and other things that I do, if you like professional wrestling, come on over live Wednesday nights after AEW Dynamite on twitch.tv/RBR Wrestling. And you can hear the Fatal Four talk about what has been the week in professional wrestling and all kinds of other shenanigans on RBR Weekly Wrestling Talk. Once again, that is twitch.tv/RBR Wrestling, live Wednesday nights and everything. And you can find RBR Wrestling on social media by searching RBR Wrestling. We're sponsored by Manscaped. So you can go to manscaped.com and you can get 20% off your order plus free shipping if you use promo code RBRShave. It's a limited time partnership. So any of you within the sound of my voice that can use that promo code RBRShave on manscaped.com, it would help the show out tremendously, help us get some of them corporate sponsors, so I ain't got to bug you all a goddamn time about our patreon.com/RBR Wrestling and stuff like that, because we be getting corporate money, baby. Go to manscaped.com, use promo code RBRShave. Anyway, you heard me cracking open my customary energy drink. It is 10:34 in the PM. I'm getting ready to go work that night shift again, baby. And I'm just doing my pregame, more or less. Let me take a sip for the working man. Just finished the podcast with that motherfucker Jody B. It was good talking to him voice to voice and get to see him visually across the interwebs as well. Did a nice little hour or so podcast with them. Prior to that, had to take young child out on the town and everything, get her out the house and everything, because it is summertime. School is out and all these miscreants have nothing to do with their goddamn time, and they're too young to work and shit. So now they're just causing havoc and goddamn mayhem and shit. I'm in my garage the other day, door wide the fuck open, just facing the elements, the Houston heat just creeping into my garage and just bombarded me along with the stuff, the steam and the heat that's coming off all these power tools and shit. And there's some neighborhood kids walking around the neighborhood and just like, it's what trash day was coming up. So they had trash and shit out there on the curb. These little motherfuckers just come around and start fucking around with the trash on the side of the curb and shit, like playing catch with it and all kinds of other shenanigans and shit. I'm like, with all of my might, I had to stop myself from saying, cut that shit the fuck out. Quit that shit. What the fuck you doing? Just some kind of vulgar language or anything like that. And it was like a mob of them little motherfuckers too. It's probably like 6 of them. I knew I probably could have took them out, but I didn't want to get into an altercation and everything. I just kept my mouth shut. Eventually they put the things down. They got bored and they fucking left. They didn't cause any property damage and they didn't leave anything in disarray. They just did some rambunctious kid shit or whatever. But it did piss me off to some degree and everything. But I was too busy involved with my project in the garage, my woodworkings and things, because I am building custom shelves for a closet that I've done. I think I talked about it on here before, or I can't say that I've done that I'm doing. I'm almost completed one wall. I completely redone the floor and everything, but buying all these new power tools and equipment, my garage space is getting smaller and I'm stepping over things, stepping around things or whatnot. And I had a little bit of foresight. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm working in my comfortable shoes. I need to order me some shop shoes, some work shoes, steel toe, composite toe, something to protect my feet. Because in the back of my mind, I was like, something could happen. And boy, did it ever. So I got online, ordered me some motherfucking boots. And like coincidentally enough, when I had this thought, I guess the algorithm is listening to me and everything. I'm going through Instagram. Timberland, of all things, popped up on my timeline with some shop work boots. Well, not even boots. They're like shoes. They're low top and everything, trendy and everything. They was marketed in it as having, the greatest, cushioniest insoles and shit. And I was like, I love me some good cushy insoles. So I hopped on it, had a little sale going, got me some shop shoes, composite toe, coming in the mail. You know what? I was like, I need these post haste because I have a funny feeling. And, I felt it in my bone, in my badoodle nabagata. So I did overnight shipping. So I paid extra so it can be here next day. It did not come next day. It came the day after. But the day that it was supposed to arrive, I'm in the garage cutting plywood boards, 3/4 thick. And, yep, I cut it right down the middle. One half slid off the back of the sawhorse. I'm holding a circular saw in my hand, trying not to drop that. The other board slipped off the front of the sawhorse, landed dead on my motherfucking big toe on my right foot. It caught the back of the nail closest to the knuckle. I cut top of my foot. Oh, well, not my foot, the big toe, and, bruised up my damn nail and all kinds of shit. So immediately I was like, God damn, I just ordered these goddamn boots. They should have been here today. And like, I'm cussing and all kinds of stuff. And like, seriously, as soon as it hit my foot, I slid back from it because it almost like bounced. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, as soon as I felt pressure strike my foot, I was able to pull my foot back and away and everything from under the plywood that fell down. It wasn't like a huge piece, but it was big enough from high enough. And I immediately, put the saw down and just started walking back and forth, started pacing and everything. I walked it off. I walked the pain off and shit. And I was like, God damn, I was limping for a second and everything. And I guess the adrenaline took over. The pain started to subside and everything. And I was like, okay, let's assess the damage. I didn't even take my shoe off or nothing like that. I just started, going up on my tiptoes, rotating my foot left to right, squatting, just like, all right, I can still wiggle my toes. I can still bend them forward, bend them backwards and everything. So, all right, nothing's broke that I can tell. So once the pain went down and I can wiggle my toes and I can, nothing was feeling numb or anything like that, I just kept working. I moved. Well, I didn't keep working. I just cleaned up the area and everything. I cleaned up the shop, put the tools away and everything. And then I sat down, pulled my sock off my foot. There was a little blood on there. The sock soaked it up. It wasn't a lot, so I'm grateful for that. And I guess the bottom of my toenail started to blacken up. The whole, from the first joint knuckle of the big toe down to, I guess would be, I don't know, like the palm of my foot. I don't know. It was bruised and everything. And then like it started to swell up a little bit. It was getting a little tender and everything, but nothing, no numbness, no tingling. And I could still move my toe up and down and wiggle it and all kinds of stuff and everything. I had some good mobility in there. The swelling kind of tightened it up a little bit to kind of make it hard to get full extensions and everything. But, cleaned it off, alcohol peroxide, put some ointment on it, iced it and everything. And then I think that was, what's today? Thursday. That happened happened Monday or Tuesday. So I'm sprinting and everything. I'm walking around and everything. I mean, the toenail is a little uncomfortable and everything. And there's still a slight bit of swelling. And I know it's slightly swollen because when I put my shoe on, my right shoe is slightly tighter than what my left shoe is or whatever. So yeah, I got to work through that. And, yeah, but I'm all right. I'm good and everything. Just a labor of love, I guess. Just a casualty of war. I wish, I'm probably see if I can get a motherfucking refund on that overnight shipping because the bitches didn't get them shits in overnight, So I don't know. I'm going to work on it. We're going to see. But, other than that, the closet is coming along. Floor's down. I got, one wall almost completely done. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do the transition piece and everything. So yeah, making things happen. We're going to work it out, baby. Thank you for listening to my harrowing tale of, violence and pain and misery and whatnot. I'm going to finish chugging this energy drink. I'm going to carry my ass to work. Also, I seen The Flash today. It was a thing. It was a choice. And the only thing I can say is it got better by the end. And this movie could have easily been about another one of the characters in this film, which I was more interested in than, the main character. That could have been a whole nother movie, and I hope they work on that moving forward. And if anything, they tried to do DC's version of like what we got in No Way Home, the last Spider-Man movie. So if you've seen that movie, you know what the plot entails. They did that with The Flash. So there you go. Didn't give you spoilers about the content inside, but I gave you a premise or something similar to whatever, anything. But it was I think there was that talks at one time that this movie wasn't supposed to come out in theaters or some shit. It was going to go straight to streaming. And then, the Ezra Miller shenanigans was happening and whatnot. And they was supposedly going to scrap it and shelve it, but they wind up putting it out, and you can tell because the way they did the CG in some points or whatever, it just looks poop. The suit is CG except for the helmet, which looks very awkward and poop like. So it's like, it almost feels like an incomplete movie in some aspects. But if you got the time, I wouldn't recommend against it. It was still a fun movie, And it kind of pieced a lot of things together for a young child because we watched all the Batman movies and everything, and she knows somewhat of Superman. So to see these characters in this film, she was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, this is cool and everything. But yeah. Anyway, I got to get going. I appreciate y'all for listening, and I see you next time. Giggity goo.